any NFC division team might be to actually win the conference. Any team. Any team.
Panthers? Are you that ready?
Any team. Just stand up and go out and win some games. I mean, everyone anointed the Rams. Now, like the fluctuation of the odds is crazy week over week. Like just MVP, NFC conference champion, who knows?
Recency bias, right? Like, oh, this is the best team. They're going to the Super Bowl. Then they go out and take a dump, and they're like, oh,
I'll get into
they're horrible.
I have an idea. I have a theory, I think. I'll get into it later.
All right. I want to kick this show off. I want to talk about spammers and the 49ers. Spam calls and the 49ers. I might talk a little bit about both. But last week, I averaged 3.5 spam calls on my cell phone a week. Now, these spam people, they think they're slick because they spoof the phone and they make it look like a 415 number because I have a 415 number and they think I'm more than likely to pick it up. But I'm one step ahead of them. I know their tendencies. I know the game plan. I know how to adapt and win in the inches. And it reminds me of Bryant Boyer, the Niners special teams coach. He's in Cleveland. It's windy. It's cold. Brock doesn't play well. They're going against probably the best defensive line in football and the future defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
And the Niners won in margins. They won with the special teams. Sky Moore, 66-yard punt return, CMC touchdown. Fumble on a punt. They capitalized. Jawad Jennings, touchdown. These are all the things that the Niners didn't do when they were really good, was the little things like special teams and defense and attention. Now it's like the reverse. They have to do all these little things to win. And now they're sitting at 9-4. 7th place, 2 games up against the Lions. They got 4 games left. I don't want to jinx them, but they're in the driver's seat, Big Ben.
They are. Not the catbird seat, but the driver's seat. And it kind of, Shanahan, you got to learn how to win games. You're right. Purdy looked horrible. What do you have? Four attempts and 3 interceptions?
That was last game.
Well,
this game, he had no interceptions because he just handed the ball off through screens and over the middle. But I think the Purdy that we've seen lately is probably the go-forward Purdy. So the Niners have to do all the other little things to win.
They have. Congrats to the Niners. I mean, in the NFC, it's anyone's game right now. And to your point, if you can win a game against the Browns with a special teams effort like you had, Jawad Jennings took one for the team too. Yeah. Tough. But CMC always gives you a chance, no matter what. He should be considered the MVP. Considered for the MVP.
Right now, it's Stafford, Drake May, Stafford. After tonight, it's probably Drake May.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at without CMC, Niners aren't anywhere.
Correct.
Mac Jones isn't winning games by himself. Like he was with CMC. I'm giving CMC the credit where he has had the biggest impact on his team relative to the wins. Plus minus, if you throw out the NBA stat, plus minus, he's like plus 150.
Yeah, and it's kind of ironic because I think he's averaging a career worst yards per carry. But with those yards, he's still effective.
But yeah, that's relative, right?
Yeah, by his standards, he's having an off year.
CMC for MVP. They went out.
Wow, I like that.
We should get some money. CMC for MVP. Where are we going next?
Big Ben and K Win for MVP of the podcast world. Hello and welcome to Big Ben and K Win. If you're watching this live on YouTube, make sure you tickle that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up and maybe even a 5-star rating anywhere you get your audio podcast. You can find Big Ben and K Win. It would help us. Thumbs up, 5-star. I'm K Win. He's Big Ben. We talked about my Niners. We're going to do a little NFC power rankings. I think Big Ben wants to talk about the Bears. I want to talk about college football, the college football playoffs, and we may get a little bit of time for Lane Kiffin and the Los Angeles Lakers.
There is so much going on right now.
I know.
Tomorrow's a big day in college football land.
Yeah.
I went to a college football game this past weekend.
Let's hear about
I
it.
think anytime the Ducks come to town, I just love to go. As a Coug, I love to go watch these two fan bases mesh. Um, Beautiful setting. It's cold, but here's what you could. And this is Jed Fish gets this. He just doesn't have the resources Oregon does, and he knows if he's going to succeed in the Big Ten, he's got to beat Oregon, and he can't. I don't
Not
think there's a
yet.
way. I don't think there's a way. But here's what I also saw: Damon Williams. That kid is small,
You
and
want
he
me to
looked.
give you my Damon Williams impersonation?
Yes, go. Jeez.
I'm ducking down,
It is
throwing screen
bad.
passes.
It's bad. The reason he got good runs is because everyone lost him in the mix. Like he would roll out consistently, constantly. And the one thing I could tell you in going to games growing up at UW Husky Stadium, great vantage points where you can see plays open up. So like back in the day, you used to see, coverage broke down, guys open, get him the ball, and then it was like this kind of, baited, and then you didn't hear one iota or even one gasp of hope throughout that entire game. There was no one open in the secondary, and it was absolutely relevant to what Jed Fish has said. It looked like in high school sports here, we have 4A, which is at the top, and we have 2B. It looked like a 4A team playing a 2A to 1A team. It was just the difference was amazing. And in the NIL era, it's going to be like that a lot, especially I think in the Big Ten, where you're going to have the have and have-nots. SEC is going to be a little more different. You'll probably find parity across each team as we've seen this year, but Oregon is good. They're big.
Good.
They're big.
They're fast.
They are.
They're loaded. They have like 3 running backs that could start at other Big Ten and SEC programs. They've got all these wide receivers. Their tight end and their top wide receiver has been hurt, and they're still winning. They're loaded.
They're in the college football playoff. Probably lock. Got to be a lock.
Gotta be locked.
Got to be. They won't play in the Big Ten championship,
They won't.
which may benefit them.
Good.
True.
True. Well, do you want to go to Lane Kiffin, or do you want to stay in the college football playoff?
Oh God, Lane is so. I mean, it's. Let's go Lane for a little bit.
Okay.
What's your take? I have
Love
my
it.
own.
Capitalism at its best, right? He got a 69% raise. He went from 9 million to 13 million. The only person that makes more money than him is Kirby Smart. And here's why I actually love it, because I think Lane really wants to win. He wants to win a national championship. He looked around. He's like, I got a great offensive team. I can scheme it up. But in that second round of the playoffs or the semifinals, I'm not going to beat the Georgias, the Oregons, the Ohio States of the world, because it comes down to defense. And I thought long and hard about this after listening to some podcasts. If you're a 5-star defensive back, defensive tackle, defensive end linebacker, you're either going to Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Georgia, maybe Bama.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to Ole Miss. So, like, this actually gives him the best chance to use his offensive brain power and mix it in with some defensive recruits, 5-star recruits, to potentially win.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think the other part of this that a lot of people aren't talking about, and I actually heard it from some guy on Instagram, oddly enough, but I'll get it beside my sources and give him some credit. They gave him $25 million a year in NIL money. $25 million a year. And this coming from, and you knew how sacred the LSU program in football was to Louisiana when the governor came out and called out the AD at the school and said, "You're an idiot. I'm going to make the call before you make another call." Like, that's how sacred. So the entire state is rallied around. There's no Louisiana State, a lot like Ohio State. There's Ohio State and the Bobcats of Ohio. You don't even talk about them. There's Louisiana State and Louisiana Lafayette or Louisiana. You don't talk about those two. I think Lane Kiffin saw that opportunity. Like,
Yeah.
I can be the biggest of the big. This state is all invested, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have like a state funded tax strictly for NIL. Like, you come and visit Louisiana, your money's going to the NIL fund. That's how. And the other part of it is, Lane Kiffin came out and said the college, like NCAA athletics or college football mainly, needs a salary cap or things are going to get out of hand. Everything's been ignored. There's nothing that's, Congress hasn't stepped in. So he's going to exploit that. He's going to go buy the best team and win probably 3 championships.
Yeah,
How
he's
many?
got a shot. If you go back to your Ohio State comment, people in Ohio like and love Ohio State more than the Browns,
Oh,
more than
yeah.
the Cavs. And you could say the same thing in New Orleans. Like, they like LSU better than the Saints, of course, better than the Pelicans. Like, that's the number one sports franchise. All the eyes, all the money, all the resources to go out and win.
Yeah. And LSU is I mean, they have good women's programs, but I mean, it's football. Like, they have probably, I think, one or, if not the biggest stadium. So, in terms of the return on your investment from Louisiana with Lane Kiffin, who's probably the premier coach, in terms of, he's been everywhere. And it's not as though he's been everywhere. He's recruited everywhere. He's got, the guy is, and he's young relative. So, I think in 5 years, Lane's going to be laughing because he'll have won his like third natty, and he'll have every one of his graduating players going to the NFL, and he'll just say, "I told you so." And it's probably not just him; it's the state of Louisiana going, "We got to be good at something. Let's just really be really good at college football."
And you know what recruits itself is players in the NFL, like Burrow, Chase, Jefferson, Patrick Queen. Like, you could go on and on about the offensive, defensive players for LSU in the NFL. The only thing I don't like about it has nothing to do with Lane, but more to do with college football. Like, they've got to institute some kind of rule where the coach can't leave in the middle of the season, because I think Rick Pitino said this. There's no way a college basketball coach is leaving before the NCAA tournament, right? Like, they just don't allow that to happen. So Lane should have the opportunity after the season. It's stupid that you can go and hire a current coach and steal them away from a rival in the same conference in the season.
That's not Lane's decision to make, though. He wanted to
I
stick around,
agree.
right? Like,
Yeah.
the other
It's
side,
higher than Lane. It's
right?
the administration of college
Right,
football.
right, right. And they should do the right thing in telling Lane to leave too, so they can secure their coaches for next year, whatever that may be, whatever that might look like. But for Lane, if you're getting the bag of 25 mil, that portal hits. I think it still hits like in the middle of the college football playoff, unless they changed it. But you're
Did you
starting to.
did you
You're
see he also negotiated? So, like, in college sports, when you get to the playoff and you win, there's usually like incentives for coaches.
Mhm.
So if Ole Miss wins round one, he would get, I think it's 125,000. LSU agreed to pay him
Of
if Ole
course,
Miss goes on.
of
So it's just like money finds money, right? He's got the
exactly.
salary, he's got the bonus, he's got the NIL money. Lane is looking good right
But
now.
where I'm going with this is LSU's going, I'm giving you 25 million. I need your eyes on the field as these kids play in the college football
Oh, I see
playoffs,
what you're saying.
so we know who you're going to go give money to. And that's the smart thing Lane would do. He's going to go pick out players that he likes or maybe he isn't getting played. All of a sudden they walk off the field, Lane's there with a check. Hey, how you doing? You heard of LSU? Like, that's what he's going to go do. And you're going to see, if you're going to a new program, it's got to have cachet and you got to play. Like, right?
And you
I
got to have a
think,
shot to go to the NFL.
sure, cachet is inclusive of being like trajectory of the NFL. LSU has that. Lane's going to be, if I'm Dan Lanning, I'm running the other way. If I see Lane on the sideline, same, like, it's going to come down to that. Like, Lane's going to have his people, and he's going to be right up there with Ryan Day, Dan Lanning, like you were saying, all those coaches where they're going to be on the sidelines, and Lane's going to have maybe a little bit deeper pockets and maybe the promise to play a little more.
And what Lane does better than a lot of coaches right now is he knows how to manipulate the media and Twitter,
Mhm.
and he's always like giving a bit or an interview where like Kirby doesn't want to do that,
No,
right? Well,
he's
Delaney doesn't
relevant.
want to do that. So like Lane is just going to find the margins and the angles to be relevant or more relevant than he is to get mind share.
And I love how he leaned on like Pete Carroll, and Pete goes, "What would Monty want you to do?" To that effect. And Monty, would say go to the program with probably the most resources, best resources you probably go to, that is absolutely fiending for a national championship, because Brian Kelly is the only coach in the last, I don't know, not to bring LSU and Natty. So that tells you how much Brian Kelly stinks as a coach.
Yes. Let's stick with college football. Here's where I want to go next. I had some idle time on my hands this afternoon. You know what they say? Idle's hands does the college football work. So we're going to go through the 5 conference championship games this week in Big Ben. You're going to pick a winner, and I'm going to give you the scenario of how it's all going to play out in the college football playoff. I'll even give you the opposite scenario. The other team wins. That's how I'm excited about this college football playoff. And you tell me if you like my theories or if I should go kick rocks.
Good. Kick rocks.
All right, so first game, American Athletic Champion. This is the Group 5 team, North Texas versus Tulane.
Oh, my goodness. So I heard some rumblings that Ed Orgeron, who I personally love as a coach, I forget what I read. He was at Ole Miss at one time and talked about culture there and bringing kids in. He might go to Tulane, which would be awesome for that program. But the guy at North Texas has him scoring he's like the Mike Leach reincarnated. Like Mike's spirit came up and is now in this guy. I don't know his name, but the Mean Green of scoring. I think they put up like 44 points a game. Give me the Mean Green. Give me North Texas. They might. Yeah, let's go.
So I didn't think we were going to spend this much time on this game, but the winner is going to be the 12 seed. So North Texas will be the 12 seed.
12 seed.
Moving on. This is where it gets interesting. We've got the Big 12 championship. We've got BYU versus Texas at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
BYU versus Texas.
I'm sorry. BYU versus Texas Tech.
Thank you.
I forgot the Tech part.
Texas Tech, running away. Best D-line in the country.
And then with that, BYU is going to be out of the college football playoff. I think Texas Tech, if they win, they're going to be as high as a 3 seed. Right now, they're slated, I think, 4. They're going to move up to 3, and I'll tell you a little while later.
BYU basketball, men's basketball, Final Four this year.
Too. All right, we did Big 12. SEC Championship. This is where the stuff starts to happen, Big Ben. We've got Georgia versus Bama. 1 o'clock this Saturday. Who do you like?
Where is it? Atlanta?
It is, Atlanta.
Superdome. No, that's not the Superdome, is it?
It's a Mercedes-Benz.
Who won the first time around?
This year, I think, let me look. I think Bama won. No, Georgia won.
They win again.
Wait, hold on.
Kirby Smart is a far better coach than Kalen DeBoer. That's all.
Bama won 24-21.
Okay, revenge game. Georgia wins.
Georgia wins. So here's my prediction. We've got the SEC. The winner of this game will be the 2 seed.
Okay.
So Georgia will be the 2 seed. Bama will be out of the college football playoff if Georgia wins, Big Ben. They'll have 3 losses. And we're not doing this song and dance again. Last year, Alabama had 3 losses, the only 3-loss team that was getting in. They're not getting in this year. If Bama loses, they are out. They're getting replaced by Miami. The Hurricanes will only have 2 losses. They'll sneak in and steal Bama's spot.
The ACC is so freaking bad. Like BYU, Was it not BYU? Who's going to
SMU.
Duke? Duke might play in like Duke's got like 3. It's a mess. I don't think an ACC team should even make it.
So
It's
we got
it's bad. Like it's a really really bad football conference.
no, it's not. It's just a conference with a lot of parity.
They're all bad. Parity
got
means
in.
they're all bad.
It was like
Parity means all bad.
a 5-way tie.
Exactly.
In second place.
All bad. They're all bad.
Duke needed Cal to win, and I think Wake Forest to win, and they needed someone else to lose. It's one of those things where you see the scenarios, and it's like got all these scenarios. Yeah. Every scenario happened, and Duke won. Duke versus UVA. I want Duke to win, so this whole thing gets flipped on its head.
Yes, no ACC team in. Just no. They're a water polo or a men's soccer conference.
You can't change the rules halfway into it.
What do you mean? That they have to get an auto bid?
They have to get an auto bid.
Jeez. Make them all play again. With like one little mini tournament.
So you going UVA?
Sure. Cavaliers. I'll take Cavaliers.
So if UVA wins, they'll be the 11th seed because the group of 5 will be the 12th seed. So if UVA wins, they're 11th seed. If Duke wins, they will be 8-5. They have to be a 12 seed. So then North Texas would be 11, and someone's going to get squeezed out. So Bama better win. Bama loses, they're out.
Okay.
Texas Tech, on the other hand, going back to the Big 12, if they lose, I think they'll still get in. I think BYU would move up to like top 4 seed, and I think Texas Tech still gets in. All right, moving towards – oh, I had to click. All right, we've got Big Ten. This is the game everyone wants to see. We've got Ohio State versus Indiana, and I think it's going to be a little anticlimactic because whoever wins is going to be the number 1 seed. I think whoever loses this game is the number 4 seed.
Agreed. I think these coaches are smart. They're going to literally – I bet you it's run the ball, someone kick a field goal, take a knee, let's get down here. Like it's unless they're
going to try to win the game.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think. Again, I've said this. Like, if you do win the game, I guess you get a bye, right?
Yeah,
you're guaranteed a bye, so you get the week off.
You lose the game, you're probably going to get a bye. You should get a bye. These are the 2 best teams in college football.
Yeah, I mean, that's saying that, right? Like if tomato, 50 cents one, half a dollar the other. It doesn't make sense for you as a coach to send your guys out there and like I would do vanilla. Like, don't get hurt. Let's get healthy. Let's not have something happen. That's a worst case scenario. Like your best case scenario is you go out there and win the game and no one gets hurt. But at this stage of the season, the probability of that happens pretty small.
I think that is Ryan Day's philosophy. Cignetti's going to try to win this game.
Of course Cignetti is.
Recruiting for, hey, this is not a one-year wonder. We're back. We're the best team in the country. Cignetti's going to pull out all the stops.
Cignetti's probably got an incentive-laden contract. So, yeah, if you win the Big Ten championship and you're Cignetti, you probably take home another cool mill. I mean, then if I'm him, I say distribute that to all my players in some sort of NIL fashion. All of a sudden, they got some money in their pocket. Yeah, you're Big Ten champions, and I don't know, you're number 1 seed overall. Not a bad deal.
So here's what I want to get into. I think 3 of the top 4 teams are in the Big Ten. I think it's Indiana, Ohio State. Right now, I think Georgia, and then I think it's Oregon. But the committee will not give, in my opinion, the Big Ten 3 of the top 4 seeds and 3 first-round buys, even though, in my opinion, clearly they're the 3 best teams.
If Georgia loses, well, it's all about, I don't know. Like, this is still new, right? This isn't the NCAA basketball tournament that's been played for gosh knows how long. This is still new, the college football playoffs and scenarios and seeding. And they probably don't even have close to an algorithm. There's not enough data to figure out who should go where and why. And, there's always like, do we want two Big Ten teams playing each other in the second round? Do we? I don't know. But they are probably three of the best four. The argument very much, I would say Texas Tech is a really, really good team too.
Yeah.
But if
one of my
Bama beats
points
Georgia,
is if IU loses, if Indiana loses, they have one loss. I don't think you can rank Indiana below Oregon because Indiana beat Oregon. So that's why I think they have to be a top 4 seed, and they're not going to give Oregon a bye. So Oregon by default is going to be the number 5 team.
Fair. That's very fair. Very fair.
Now in the SEC land, they've got 5 teams in right now.
Shoot.
They've got Georgia versus Bama. Bama's like a 10 seed, I believe. We'll see tomorrow night. Ole Miss is in. They've got 1 loss. A&M's in. They've got 1 loss. Oklahoma's in right now. They have 2 losses. That's why I'm saying if Bama loses and they have 3 losses, I think Bama's out. I think Miami gets in. Why would you reward a 3-loss team?
Because you pay a conference that is 10 billion times better than the ACC. Like Virginia, who may win the ACC, probably wouldn't eke out maybe 3 conference wins with the SEC. That is a fact. That is a fact.
I agree.
So why would you put Miami ahead of a 3? I would take a 3-loss SEC team over a 2-loss ACC team any day of the week.
But Miami's being penalized because they can't figure out, the ACC, how to get their best teams into the conference finals. The Pac-10 struggled with this for years. The Pac-12. Miami should have there should have been a new tiebreaker rule, and Miami should have jumped into the conference finals because that's the only way that they could theoretically get in. So the ACC messed this up.
ACC messed a lot of things up in the last few years. Getting Cal and Stanford, like it's an Olympic sport league.
So should
outside of men's,
should Bama go in ahead of Vandy? Vandy's only got 2 losses. Vandy's 10-2.
Yeah, there's a lot to debate there.
Yeah, that's why I think Bama's out if they lose.
There's going to be some ADs. But Vandy, Bama's just going to say, Vandy, what are you talking about? How many people are going to watch Vandy play anyone? And no one, right? Who's going to watch Bama? Half the country.
We are. Nick Saban. Are you buying this Notre Dame Miami argument? Miami should be in over Notre Dame.
That's one of those arguments you don't engage in because it doesn't really, I don't think. Let's have it in a week. I'd say, okay, let's stop the argument. Let's talk in a week because there's games to be played ahead of you that could impact whether or not you're in or not. Right?
Yeah. Well, let's have it now because I'm pro Notre Dame. Like they have the same record, and Miami fans are like head to head. We should get in. But I'm looking at the losses. Notre Dame lost to Miami by 3, and they lost to A&M by 1. A&M's 11-1. Miami lost to SMU.
Yeah.
And Louisville.
Those are just garbage. Garbage. Miami is not a good football team. They're not.
What do you think of the ACC?
What? What do I think of the ACC? I mean, this year you called it parity. Yeah. Parity generally means like, oh, we have good, relevant teams. But no, you don't have good, relevant teams. Parity to the ACC is just marginal, at best, 5-loss SEC schools. Meaning if you're an SEC, playing in the SEC, you have 5 losses. That's it.
I'll do you one better. I think the group of 5 winner, Tulane or North Texas, would have won the ACC this year.
Very fair. Yes, I agree with you. I agree. In fact, that should be it. If you win the Power 5 or however we're going to anoint the Power 5, you get to go in the ACC. And then we would see that Power 5 school, just the trajectory, they would probably top 3 ACC team the next year.
So we're saying like regulation, like soccer, football,
Yeah.
where you can move up or you can
Yeah.
move down. So
Relegation
Clemson
zone.
would be group of 5 next year.
I don't know if you can do that, but like you would probably see a team like God, who's just abysmal in the ACC. Wake Forest is okay.
Stanford?
Well, at this point, unless uh, Tavia Pritchard turns them around. I mean, but it's that bad, right? There's no relevant teams other than Miami just because it's the name Miami. We can come back to the ACC. We can figure out a way to fix it.
Syracuse, 3-9. Boston College, 2-10.
See, yeah.
Virginia Hokies, 3-9. Bill Belichick, 4-8. Man, they
See,
are
and like Boston College, you would never see a team like that in the SEC. Like even Vandy was the laughing stock for a few years, and now they're back to relevant.
yeah. Even Arkansas or like South Carolina didn't
Right.
have the greatest years, but they're still like a hard team to beat if you have to
Yes.
play them at home.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And then it's not like that in ACC. Layups.
Where do you want to go next?
Let's. I had my whole case for Texas to be in.
Do you
But,
want to talk about a 3-loss team getting in?
well, let me say it like this. They have They have momentum. They haven't lost at home all year. They won the Red River Shootout, beating Oklahoma. And that's all I got. It's a pretty weak case, actually.
Yeah.
they're not
Latier like broke his hand, came back to play, couldn't really
right.
throw. They
Like,
lost to Florida, who I think
I
is
know
4-8.
Florida's a tough out this year. They won some games. They won some games.
They won 4 games.
They would have won the ACC. All right, Florida would have won the ACC. So let's just leave it at that. But yeah, Texas. I just think this.
I don't think they get in. I don't think they should get in because you've got Vandy that's 10-2 in the same conference. So that argument should go to Vandy. Then if BYU
They beat
loses,
Vandy. Texas beat Vandy.
okay, so they get in over Vandy. But they don't get in over BYU that's 11-2 that has 2 losses to Texas Tech. I think BYU would get in over Texas.
See, this is where we're headed because, like, if I guarantee you this, if Texas Tech takes a dump in the college football playoff, you already used the term, so I'm going to use it again. If they take a dump, the SEC commissioner and the Big Ten commissioner are going to say, see, you bring the best from other conferences, and they're garbage. Give us our own tournament. Give us our own playoff. And the NCAA probably can't stop them, right? Your conference, you do it. And that's what they'll end up doing because it's more money, more revenue for those two conferences rather than splitting it to the Big 12 and ACC.
I go back to the SEC commissioner, Gene Sankey, and I say, who's won the last 2 years? The Big Ten, Gene. So get off your high horse.
Well, no, I'm saying that they're going to collab. Big Ten, SEC, boom. So those are the conferences that I want to watch play additional games. I would rather watch Texas play another football game against a formidable opponent than BYU.
I wouldn't. I've seen Texas on national TV. I'd rather see BYU play Texas
Name
Tech.
a player on BYU.
Oh my gosh, they have that quarterback who's a stud.
See? You're proving my point.
They're not on TV. I can't see them.
Exactly. Because no one's watching them. No one wants to watch them. No one's calling up and saying, hey, put on some BYU football. No one is. No one.
But it's like the NCAA tournament for college basketball. I don't know some of these players on these teams, and they go in and they knock off a team, and there's an upset, and then all of a sudden there's a storyline, and there's players. You get to know them during the playoffs. I'm going to get to know
when
BYU players
shellacked?
This weekend. No.
See, you wait. If the ACC doesn't show well, and the Big 12 doesn't show well, and the Power 5 guy one and done, I guarantee you we're going to see Big 10, SEC, tourney. Everyone else can go play for whatever championship you want to come up with.
What are you going to call that champion?
What do you mean? What champion?
It's just going to be the Big Ten SEC champion.
Oh, they'll make up some really kick-ass name. Like, I don't know, the superpower college football team. I don't know. But it will happen because they want more money for their conferences. They don't want money for other conferences.
I don't want it to happen. That's why I'm arguing
I
the other
don't.
side.
I don't either, but it will. Kyle, it's money. As soon as we start paying players, they don't have contracts, but we're just paying them. We're just giving them money. Let's talk your Lakers.
Okay. The Lakers are 15-4. They've won 7 straight. But what does advanced analytics say about the Lakers? You know the answer. They're not a very good team because they're not in the top 10 in net ratings. Now, I don't want you to come at me about being a stats guy. The Lakers got Luka. The Lakers got LeBron. The Lakers are winning. The Lakers also play no defense. They've got a high usage rate. And if you're not in the top 10 in net rankings, that means you're not in the top 10 in the offense or the defense. And you know who's in the top 10 in net rankings? 4 other teams in the Western Conference. You've got OKC, you've got Houston, and you've got Minnesota, and you've got Denver. And you know what? All 3 of those teams play defense. So Luka's not going to average 37. He might average 32, but they're going to lock in based on those matchups. And the Denver has Jokic. So this is the same story as last year. Lakers are going to win a championship. No, they're not. They're going to get to the playoffs, and they're going to lose first round or even second round, depending on the matchups, to OKC, Houston, Denver, Minnesota. I'll throw in a 15. San Antonio. They don't match up to San Antonio either.
So are you going to stop watching the games at this point?
Absolutely not.
You just want to see it unfold, almost to say like I told you so. So because there's always a regression in the mean, is what you're saying. Is like you're playing far above what every data point says you should be playing at based on. Now tell me this: what if we've got guys that are called 3 and D guys, or you need defense so bad, just a D guy? Can we go get some of those guys and kind of?
You can, but the problem is what we saw in that Minnesota series last year, where LeBron, Luka, and Reeves have to guard Ant, Jaden, and Randall. And
That's
then
rough.
also Ant, Jaden, Randall, and Gobert play great cohesive team defense. That's what I mean, like where the metrics come into play in a regular season when you have a defensive team that can focus entirely on another team for a whole playoff series.
What about a zone defense? Can we just go zone?
Yeah.
Just all you're on it. You're just on a string. You just got a little portion of the court that you got to guard.
Let me ask you this question.
What?
How effective do you think Luka's zone defense is?
As soon as that ball goes up, do you
think he's going to the corner to close out?
No, he's not. He's not. But it masks the deficiencies a little, right? It provides a little, plugs maybe some of the holes. Maybe he's not exerting as much energy. He's only got to work within a specific area on the court.
If I'm the opposing coach, I'm putting my 2 best players on the side of the court that Luka's on.
Okay, we'll have a rotating zone. Box and 1. You'll get that 3 and D guy. We're just got to run around. Get Pat Beverly or something.
He's too busy podcasting.
I'm just trying to find solutions for the Lakers.
They are in a great position once they figure out how to transition off LeBron. I hate to say it, but they need to plug someone in who's more of a role player who plays defense
Bronny?
now in this stage in his career.
Bronny?
Maybe it's Bronny. Maybe he grows into that role.
I believe in the Lakers. I haven't even transitioned to basketball yet, really. I watched OKC play a couple overtime games early in the season. They're good. Jalen Williams. I read something. This is interesting. Can I tell you this?
Absolutely.
Jalen Williams, if he was to be all NBA, first, second, or third team, he would have this year. He would have qualified for like a not a super max, but
Yeah, the Supermax. I think it's 287 million.
okay, he would have qualified for the super max. By him being hurt, but you have to play so many games in order to qualify. He came back the game after, I think it took to qualify. They saved $28 million. I'll get this, Sam Presti. This allows them to go into get a player sign a player at a threshold of where you'd go get like not a veteran minimum, but kind of the next tier up. So the theory is Sam Presti knew this entire time. Jalen Williams knew this the entire time. And knowing that they didn't need him yet, everyone was happy. OKC is just a wonderful married family. I want to go to dinner with all those guys. Just sit around the table. They're nice guys. Sam, remember that one time I took a potential? I didn't think I was going to. What if you just? They probably kicked him $5 million under the table. Like, just stay.
He got a Kawhi Leonard endorsement deal.
Yeah, exactly. He was hawking Mercedes-Benz of OKC or something.
You know, you're right. I think Jalen is such a team guy.
Santa Clara guy.
That Santa Clara guy that I would rather win multiple championships than get an extra 20, 40 million a year. So if you can use that extra 20, 40 million a year to get another dog on our team, I will come back one day after the cutoff so I don't receive the max. Absolutely, they had that conversation.
$100 million in OKC is like 20 million in California. Like he's probably bought half the state along with Chet and SGA. Anything else?
You want to talk about your Bears real quick?
I do. Because the fact they have the number one seed in the NFC now, and you can see Ben Johnson's like, this is working. He didn't think this would work, and it worked. It's working.
Listen, we didn't think this would work.
You,
and everyone.
No one thought that this would work. So many question marks. Caleb Williams, like, kind of brand new coach, right? Year one's always like, even look at Mike McDonald. He went 10-7 last year. And everyone was like, okay, that's a decent year. That's what you expect from a first-year coach, like trying to figure out the system. It's working. Ben Johnson, this should be called house money. So that's how they're playing. Like, it's working. I don't know how it's working, but it's working. But here's my theory. Caleb Williams is a bit more mature. Ben Johnson doesn't have him doing things he shouldn't be doing, meaning, Caleb, if you don't feel it, don't force it, run. Give you that freedom. And their defense is not great, but it's good enough. And they've been consistent. You and I talked about this. They have enough pieces where it's not one guy, but it's just the offense that clicks. And they'll put up, I don't know, what are they averaging? Probably 24 points a game?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
The scary thing is this actually might be their floor as the number one team in the NFC. And I say that because they're number one in the league in rushing. They're number one in takeaways. Like, they might not have all the defensive stars, but they make turnovers. And Caleb is playing okay. Like, I'm a West Coast guy. I want Caleb to do great. Like, he's playing okay. So if he continues to get better and the confidence comes, they're going to be scary good in the coming years.
I like what you said in just comparing them to the Lions of last year, right? You said, like, Williams is more mobile than Goff, because you're just taking that offense and porting new people in it, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have DeAndre Swift, who's Gibbs, very light, and the new guy, Mastriani, kind of like your Montgomery. You don't have a alpha like you do in St. Brown, but David Moore's pretty good.
Maybe Dunze grows into that?
Dunze, yeah, and then Luther Burden the third. And then you got
Loveland
and Cole
Cole Kmet.
Exactly. Doesn't it feel a lot like the Lions just in a different place from last year? and they're fun. They're fun. Like, I know Bears fans, and they are miserable the last decade because it just wasn't fun. It was boring. It was just tough to lose. They lose in crappy. This is fun. This is Ben Johnson is going to become the mayor of Chicago here soon.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
One on the road in Philly, like that was a big win.
That's a measuring stick win.
That's a confidence booster too, right? You can go into Philly, Super Bowl champs. They've got all these athletes, all these dogs on both sides of the field, and boom, we smack them in the face and we win.
Can I make one here? Before we get out of here. I think one team has the most momentum right now outside of the Bears.
In the NFC or AFC?
NFC.
Packers.
No.
Oh, you're going Cowboys.
I am.
Oh!
So
Packers look good on Thanksgiving.
They did. Jordan Love looked really good.
Christian Watson's back.
He just threw it up, and they went and got it. The Cowboys, though, Jerry Jones went and made 2 acquisitions. And
everyone was laughing at him.
Yeah,
who's this coach that they hired? Brian Schottenheimer?
And he's a scoundrel. He needs to quit running up and down the sidelines. Just relax. Just get a scowl going. Like one of these. Not just relax, Schotten. Zach Wilson from the Bengals. Quinn Williams, excuse me. That defense just needed a little facelift, a few more additions. They're healthy now. And that offense is pretty darn good.
Will they trade for Pickens? We're like, I
don't
know. They gave up that pick. I don't know if he's going to fit in. Oh, he's fitting in.
It might be the best duo going right now.
Better than Puka and Devontae?
Ooh, there's a lot. Puka, Devontae, T, and Chase. But I'm saying at this time, coming off last week where they both, I think, almost had 100 yards and a tutty. I want to hate Jerry Jones.
I want to hate the Cowboys.
I want to hate the Cowboys, but they're like the Pickens story. Pickens was just kind of shunned from Pittsburgh,
not a team guy.
Exactly.
Gives up.
Now, he's coming out and he's saying, "Yeah, me." They didn't say it, but yeah, me and CD kind of stayed out too late in Vegas. Our bad, So there's a little more Cowboys feel real. There's actual players you want to like on the team.
Here's why I like the Cowboys. Usually they're overhyped. They're going to win a Super Bowl. This is the Cowboys' year. But this year it's they suck. They're not good. Dak's overrated. And now they're the underdog. I like cheering for them as the underdog because they're not supposed to be here. They got made fun of for their coach that they hired. Bad trades. The franchise is crumbling. But no, it's not, because once they beat the Lions this Thursday night, them boys are back.
Oh, gosh. And they have a tie. They tied. You're like, anyone who ties isn't going to make the playoff. Might have 2 teams. And you know why Jerry did that? Because if you don't sniff or your defense doesn't get better after you get rid of Micah Parsons, you got to go look in the mirror, buddy. But he did the right thing. Good acquisitions. Quinn Williams gave up a lot. God, they gave up a lot of draft picks.
Man, my cell phone's not charging. You're not going to be able to call me tonight. But should we get out of here?
Let's get out of here.
At Big Ben Kwin _ anywhere you get your social media. That's TikTok, Threads, Instagram, Facebook. Don't forget to follow the Discord. If you're listening to this on an audio podcast, anywhere you get your audio podcast, make sure you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. 5-star rate us. It will really help out a lot. More of a video podcast person? We're on YouTube. Drop your comments below if you're watching this live or on demand. I'm Kwin. He's Big Ben. In Miami, Duke are going to shock the college football playoffs. ACC is back.
It's never been here. It can be back. That's not.
When Donovan McNabb played for the Cuse, they were great.
Oh, come on. Now you're citing 3 quarterbacks that ever played in the ACC. It is not a football.
Lamar Jackson, quarterback conference U.
WSU is literally
Drake May, North Carolina. Wow, all they do is produce quarterbacks.
How did you know so many quarterbacks right out of like ACC schools? God, you are good. You're an
Told you I
ACC
had some
homer.
idle time on my hand before this
ACC
podcast.
homer. Wishing you went to Wake Forest. All right,
Yeah.
boom.